Back at the bottom of the ocean. Don't know if I'll make it back home. At the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. At the bottom of the ocean. Don't know if I'll make it back home.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to MLB Dfs Pre-Lock Live. Friday night, Pete Cole here, running solo. Big slate, though, 15 games. So, yourfielderschoice.com. If any of you guys are new to this site, check us out. $35 a month, the first 6 months. Please give us a thumbs up if you're watching. And subscribe to Your Fielder's Choice. Small sports is our specialty for DFS. But, of course, MLB is our flagship. What do we got going on tonight? We have NBA tonight, 2 games, DraftKings, WNBA. We have a showdown at 10:30. Walter, I see Walter just posted his article for the showdown. I think it's Phoenix and LA, if I'm not mistaken. There's an NHL showdown tomorrow, a big slate, but there is a big slate for WNBA tomorrow at 2 p.m. There's three games. Walter, have something else for that. MMA tomorrow, 12 fights at 4 p.m. Our man B12 does that. He also does soccer, and soccer right now has been crushing with the Euros, especially his showdowns. But Euros are pretty much every morning at 9 a.m. There's 3 games. So check out his content. If you look at our winning lineup room, all you see is green, especially in soccer lately. It's crazy. NASCAR, I think there's trucks tonight. So I'm assuming that Eric Big E does have an article out for the trucks. Tomorrow's Xfinity, and then Sunday is the NASCAR, the Ally 400. Sunday, yeah. Esports. I'm seeing esports in his winning lineup from also a lot of green. Eric does that. Does a great job of that. He's pretty much posting an article for every slate, no matter if it's CSGO, LOL, whatever that is, DOTA. I'm not an esports guy, but I just seen somebody post a first place $110 winner in that. So obviously we're crushing that. KBO tomorrow morning, like always. We always cash that. And then Aussie football is that tonight, I believe? There may be Aussie football tonight at 11:45. But Walter takes care of that. You all know him from the college basketball, but he also does WNBA and Aussie football. And I noticed he actually had a couple takedowns, I think, last week in Aussie football. So small sports is our thing. But, of course, we do the MLB. I've been doing MLB now for, 10 years or more. So it's my baby. And we've been doing well. We've been cashing pretty much every night now. We had a little bit of a downswing. So let's keep it going tonight. All right. That's out of the way. Baseball. Weather. There's no major weather where it's going to affect like postponements. I see Cleveland at Pittsburgh. actually looks better than this morning, but there is some isolated storms, so maybe a chance for a late inning delay. But they should be able to play through the early parts of the game. That's pretty much it for rain. Actually, I'm seeing in the Boston Kansas City game, it's almost 100 degrees, muggy, winds are blowing out to left field 10 miles an hour. That's big time. So pay attention to Boston Kansas City Royals game. And then we have a couple storms in Colorado and Coors for the Milwaukee Colorado game. Everybody's always interested in that. They're in Coors, but I think should be no problems. Maybe a delay or a late start, but we're obviously not playing their pitchers anyways. But they should get the game in. So there's no postponement risks. A couple of delays maybe in Pittsburgh or Colorado, and that's it. And then the Red Sox Kansas City game, great hitting environment. Any other hitting environments like Buffalo? No, not Buffalo. Camden Yards with the Toronto Orioles game. We in Baltimore. That's what I said. Baltimore. So the wind's blowing out 10 miles an hour. In Chicago. No, don't worry. No, never mind. And that's it. Okay. Also, the Mets Washington game. The wind is blowing out to left center, 10 miles an hour. So that kind of ups the bats too. Guys like Soto, Trey Turner, etc. All right, so that's got weather out of the way. Nothing big to worry about. Vegas. See if there's any kind of big movement today. Right now, the Blue Jays. Wow. So the Blue Jays opened up at 5-1. Milwaukee opened up at 6-1, and the Blue Jays are now live at 6-3. So they're the highest implied total runs on the slate. So they jump. I mean, this is very rare to see this. They jumped 1.2 differential, and that's mainly because Bruce Zimmerman was supposed to pitch for Baltimore. He got put on the DL, and not that Bruce Zimmerman is anything special, but he's kind of a gas can. But he got placed on a DL, and now they have a righty Tom Eshelman getting the start. So probably even more of an upgrade. It may be his first. I know it's his first start. I'm not sure if it's his first game in MLB. I don't want to sit here and tell you something I don't know, because I really honestly haven't even heard of him. But I was going to call him up quick and see if I know anything about him. So he just came up from the Tidewater Tides, and he was 0-3. So there's obviously emergency replacement. Zimmerman's got left bicep tendonitis, and Zimmerman was bad. I mean, he was 4-4 with an ERA almost 5. And then here comes Eishelman. He was a AAA Norfolk and was pitching actually pretty bad. It looks like he appeared in 22 games for the Orioles in 2019 and 20, 5.22 ERA. And this season in AAA, he's 0-3, 6.41 ERA with the Tidewater. So, yeah, you want Toronto bats tonight, especially in Camden Yards. Great hitting environment. It's hot there. The wind is blowing out. So I'm going to have a lot of Blue Jays in my lineup, probably more than a Coors game. When you got wind blowing out in Camden Yards, which is the hitter's park as it is, at 10 miles an hour, you want to load up on Blue Jays against Tom Eshelman. All right, so the rest of Vegas, so Milwaukee's right below them at 6-2. Nobody else in the 6s, and then you got the Red Sox at 5-9. I do like the Red Sox tonight. They're one of my top stacks in my article today. Angels at 5-7, Dodgers at 5-7, and then anybody else below that. The lowest implied teams are the Marlins 3-7 and Cincinnati 3-8 against San Diego. Why is Cincinnati so low? It's kind of strange. Kind of playing. I mean, it's against Chris Paddock too. But San Diego was obviously pitcher's park, but it's kind of weird for him to be that low. All right, so let's get into the pitching tonight. To me, this is one of the toughest pitching slates for me personally I've seen in quite a while. Our projections are out, just updated at 6 p.m. So if you look at our projections right now, we got 3 guys all around the same. Actually, 4. So 4 guys between 20% and 26% ownership on DK projected. And that's Trevor Bauer for the Dodgers, Alex Cobb for the Angels, Jose Barrios for Minnesota, and Yusei Kikuchi for Seattle. First, Bauer. I mean, Bauer probably he probably has the safest matchup in the most pitcher-friendly park, I believe. I mean, he's in Arizona. So he's the highest. I'm not on him in cash. I'm just afraid about what everything that's been going on right now with all the new rules. And if you look at his last, I mean, he's still, but first price is 10-6. His last game was 15 points. The game that was only against Texas. Before that, Atlanta 15 points. Before that, St. Louis 19, and then Houston 10. He hasn't been over 20 DK points now in 4 starts. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pay 10-6 with Trevor Bauer. I want to see him do it first, and I'm a Trevor Bauer guy, but I just think it's a lot of money to pay. I mean, he's in a good spot, safe matchup. It wasn't all this rule stuff. He'd be the lock tonight, but I think he's more of a GPP play than cash. But he is right now looking at very, very slightly the highest ownership over Alex Cobb. Robbie Ray's actually dropped a lot. He was up there pretty high. Now he's down to 14%. And I was on Robbie Ray for most of the day, and I hope I'm not making a bad move. But Ray is, of course, going against Baltimore. I mean, he does have a good matchup. I just don't know if I want to pay 9-4 for him. I mean, he did look good. I mean, he's actually looked good his whole year. I mean, Robbie Ray, remember a couple of years ago, he was a stud. I mean, he looked good against the White Sox his last game, looked good against the Red Sox. So, and we see 3 starts in June. He's pitched 18.1 innings, and he's kind of been unhittable. 1.91 FIP, 43% strikeout rate. I'm just waiting for the shoe to fall off him. But he is in a good spot today against Baltimore. But if you're playing cash, he has dropped to the teens. So I think if you're running cash, you probably want to play. I would think. I mean, I'm a Cobb guy. I'm playing Cobb tonight in cash. But you got Cobb, and you got and Jose Barrios at 24. Right now, I'm kind of leaning Cobb and Barrios. Am I comfortable with it? No. But I think they're probably the best I'm probably going to get. I mean, Barrios does kind of scare me. Let me see, where's his numbers? Of course, I don't have him in front of me. I had him somewhere here. So Barrios is only 8.5. He's much more expensive on DK. I mean, FanDuel. You're not going to play him on FanDuel. So, I mean, the other elite pitchers tonight have bad matchups. You got Rodon versus Houston. I don't play any pitcher against Houston. Or like Corbin Burns and Coors. You can't use Corbin Burns, who's an elite pitcher in Coors. So I'm kind of leaning Barrios. I mean, the Twins are minus 160, pretty decent favorites against Texas at the bottom 5 offense. And actually, the Rangers have been hitting even worse lately. They've lost 16 of 19. They're averaging league low 3.5 runs per game during this little stretch of 19 games. And, I mean, Barrios has had the greatest of seasons, but he's been consistent. 3.49 ERA, which is, normal. 3.340 xFIP. And he's held his opponents 2 or fewer earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. So I like Barrios tonight. I've always been kind of a Barrios guy, so I'm going to run him tonight against Texas. Texas hasn't been doing anything. You look at his last couple starts. His last start against Houston, he actually had 28 DK points, which is great. He Royals only 12, but then before that, Baltimore 25, Baltimore 22, Angels 20. So Barrios is my guy for SP2. And then I'm looking at Alex Cobb. I mean, I've been a Cobb guy all year, and looking at his stats right now, he's got elite 2.88 exit, which is great. His K percentage is 28%. I mean, he's ground ball rate is almost 60%, which is elite. Fly ball rate 15%, elite. So he doesn't let batters get the ball in the air. He pretty much shuts down lefties. He's playing Detroit, and Detroit is actually better lately, but they still struggle. There's only 2 guys on Detroit's offense right now that have a decent ISO against righties, and that's Eric Haase, the catcher, and he really hasn't done that much lately. 0 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 5, 1 for 3. And then Akil Badu, the lefty, he's got 286 ISO. And the same thing. He started out the season great. I mean, he's not hitting bad. He's 2 for 4, two straight 2-4 games. But the rest of the lineup, they struggle against righties. I mean, the rest of the lineup is below 150 ISO, every one of them. Robbie Grossman, Scope, Candelario. I'm not paying $5K for Scope tonight. Nico Goodrum, Mazzara, Cashel, they're all under like 150 ISOs. So I like Cobb. He crushes lefties. And actually, the Tigers are running out. We're running out too. But the righties, he can handle most of these guys, but these guys can't hit righties. Is he volatile? Yeah. I mean, I pitched him before. I remember pitching against Houston where I was all over him, and he was out by like the second inning. But I think he's a decent play tonight. That's where I'm going as of the right now. Cobb and Berrios. So the roof. I just noticed the roof is closed in Texas for Berrios, so that actually helps Berrios too. One other guy I don't mind is Kikuchi for Seattle. I've used him a few times this year. I think he's a good, solid, safe pitcher. You like use him against lefties, and the Tampa Bay lineup. He should do fine against the Tampa Bay lineup, because Tampa Bay does struggle against lefties. So when you got, Austin Meadows is not in a good spot. Brandon Lau is not in a good spot. So Kikuchi is probably the riskiest of all these guys, but Kikuchi's in a decent spot at 8-6. So right now I'm leaning Cobb, Berrios. I'm ranking them Berrios, Cobb, and then Trevor Bauer. I want to get Bauer in something tonight because we still know how good of a pitcher he is. I mean, the spin rates are down hugely since the new rules. But hey, you can still come out and crush tonight. So to me, it's a GBP play. All right. Yeah, good question, Max Fried. Good GBP play. I put him in my article as a GBP play also. I kind of like Fried, and I think he's in a good spot tonight. I just had his numbers up too. Going up against St. Louis. St. Louis, it's a lefty. Well, actually, this is why Fried is a GBP play, because St. Louis hits lefties better, but he's been having a decent season. 4.36 xFIP, which is kind of borderline. K rate 22%. He does limit fly balls, which is good. And he limits hard contact. So definitely a GBP play for Max Fried. All right, that's it for pitchers. Let's go around the bases, kind of basing off our cheat sheet. Our projections right now, as of 6 p.m., there's nobody over like 20%, so nobody's running away with it. So the main catcher that's popular is probably going to be Omar Narvaez for Milwaukee at 4.6 because he's in Coors. So if I can get to Narvaez, I probably will, but I probably won't because I want to use a lot of the big Toronto bats. But Narvaez is definitely in play. I used him last night. He had what do you have? I know he had a bunch of walks last night, right? And I think he scored a run. But going against Sensitel, who's a gas can, he's in play. Will Smith's in play for the Dodgers. A couple other guys is a Tampa lineup out. Yeah, but Mike Zunino hasn't been playing. Wow, I don't understand why Zunino's not playing. So cross Zunino out. I like Yadi Molina tonight. If you want to be different, just make sure Molina's playing. He's batting 6th. Right now, Molina's he's kind of crushing lefties. He's got 423 ISO, 501 WOBA, 385 batting average. So I kind of like Molina also. But my punt play, who I may end up using, is this kid Riley Adams for Toronto. He's only 2.4. He's a righty. Going up against this Eshelman kid for Baltimore. We don't know much about, but we just know he's been getting rocked in AAA. So I'll take a chance on Riley Adams in a good hitting environment with the wind blowing out in Camden at 2.4. That's probably pretty much my play, my punt play. Anybody else in the court? Who's catching for the Rockies? Dom Nunez, 2.8, not bad, but it's Corbin Burns, so GBP only. That's it for catcher. I'm not going crazy on catcher. I'm going to either go use Narvaez or go all the way down to this kid for Toronto, Riley Adams, the righty bat. All right, first base. To me, tonight, especially with now the change from Zimmerman to Eshelman, because with Vlad, Vlad is actually better against righties with a reverse split than against lefties this year. Don't tell me why, but he is. So now with Eshelman now pitching, Vlad comes into play. Why can't I find his? He's batting. I'm assuming he's batting third tonight, like always. Batting third, so he crushes righties. He's got just to me at that price, you lock him in. I want to play Ohtani. Ohtani's a core play for me, but I can play Ohtani in the outfield. But if for some reason you don't like Vlad, the reverse splits worries you, which it shouldn't. I mean, the guy's got 11 homers in the last month, 26 ribbies. You go to Ohtani. You want Ohtani somewhere in your lineup. He's got an elite matchup against Jose Arena, who is a complete gas can right now. Ohtani's just crushing the ball. Looking at Urena's stats right now, 527 xFIP, 13% K rate. He's not striking anybody out. He's walking people, 10% walk rate, giving it 41% hard contact. This is a big game for Ohtani, who's sitting 324, 409, 224 ISO, 409 WOBA against righty pitchers, 46% hard contact, 40% fly ball. This whole game is set up for Ohtani. So you want Guerrero and Ohtani in your lineup if you can get him in there. So I'm going Guerrero first. I'm putting Ohtani in the outfield. Jared Walsh is set up in a good spot against Arena. He's been crushing righties all season. 294 ISO, 435 WOBA. This Angels a nice stack tonight. You can run a nice stack with like a Max Stassi, Tyler Ward, who's been sneaky good, especially lately. He's had a hit in every game for his last 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8 hits in his last 9 games. So Taylor Ward is sneaky for a stack, but I'm all over Guerrero or Ohtani. If not, I'm going all the way down to my man, Colin Moran is back. He's batting cleanup tonight against the Indians, against Mejia. I love Moran, especially against the righties. He'll be in my alternate lineup at only 2-4. Moran could go yard tonight easily if he doesn't get hurt. He's been getting hurt every other game. Any other plays I like? Of course, Vogelback in Coors. But to me, Vogelback's a boomer bust. Great play. Especially if you're stacking Milwaukee, he's got to be in your lineup. But I just don't see him as a cash play. I like Bobby Bradley. This Bradley kid's doing really well against Chet Cool for Pittsburgh. Against Brady's 407 ISO, 516 WOBA, 407 batting average. It's limited at bats, but Bradley's in a great spot, 38. And here's the one play everybody's going to be sleeping on because everybody's going to be on Guerrero Ohtani is probably one of the top plays tonight, actually, is Matt Olson for Oakland. Olson is in kind of a smash spot, actually. He's bad third. He's got elite numbers against righties. 281 ISO, 410 WOBA, and Jameson Talon is giving up crazy numbers to lefties. 250 ISO, 384 WOBA. Talon gives up a lot of hard contact, a lot of fly balls. It's all set tonight for a big night for Matt Olson. And he's hitting 340 over the last month. 8 homers in the last month, 23 ribbies, 18 homers on a season. So, Olson's right up there with Ohtani and Guerrero for top place tonight in cash. You can use any 3 of those guys. And Olson's probably going to be the least owned of all of them. So, sneaky play. Yeah, and G just said Freeman. Yeah, definitely Freeman looks good. He's going up against Carlos Martinez, who's another gas can. He gets the platoon advantage. They're in Atlanta, so he's going up against Rady. He's got that short right field porch. Great spot for Freeman. 253 ISO against righties. He's right there too. I said this is definitely a pay up because if it wasn't a pay up, I'd be using Moran. Anybody else? Brandon Belt's in a good spot. I said Walsh. Even Miguel Sano against Volte. Volte sucks. He's really giving up bad numbers right now. Especially even to raise and lefties. So first bit, and there's one other play I think the sneaky play is Ryan Mountcastle for Baltimore. Is he in a starting lineup? Mountcastle's got some really good numbers lately. He's been clean up against Robbie Ray. GPP only because we know how Ray's been a shutdown. But Ryan Mountcastle is. I saw numbers somewhere earlier where it kind of jumped out at me. So if you're making like more than one lineup, don't sleep on Mountcastle. Here they are. There's his last. So Robbie Ray's allowed 14 homers to right-handed hitters on a season. That's a lot in June. Mountcastle's got an 872 OPS with 3 bombs off lefties. Plus at home he's hitting 319, 896 OPS, and he's hitting 318 over his last. He had 3 homers over the last 2 weeks. So Mountcastle is one of my bomb calls a day at 3-6 against Robbie Ray with that wind blowing out. So this could be a stinker for Ray. Ray's been pitching so well, but we all know how Ray can implode quickly. So this could be the night, really, against this Baltimore team where you got a couple, Mancini's a ready bat, Austin Hayes a ready bat, decent, and Santander, Freddie Galvis. So Ray could have some troubles tonight. All right, that is first base. I need actually projections right now. Actually, okay, Ohtani's the highest, but Colin Moran just jumped up to 15%. So people are looking at Colin Moran, damn it, because he's so cheap. But I think in cash, I'm probably going to go Vlad. But if I don't go Vlad, it'll probably be Colin Moran. I'm using Ohtani in the outfield. All right, so second base. Our projections right now are looking at Marcus Semien, DK, 18% ownership. Nobody's even close. The closest is Urias from Milwaukee, 10%. And Semien's 5-0, though. You have to pay for him. On DK, FanDuel, he's the highest 19, but then you got Colton Wong sneaking up at 16%. So I'm assuming Colton Wong is back now, leading off. So there you go. Wong's in a good spot. I mean, they didn't drop his price at all. I mean, when he came back, he's in a good spot against Sensatella, a lefty. Wong's not usually a home run hitter, but he can lose one definitely in cores. So now that we know Wong is starting, Wong becomes a play at 4.8. I still like Semien actually better. Semien's my top play, but I'm not sure I can get to Semien. I'm going to use like a lot of these bigger bats like a Bo Bichette's and Vlad. So the one guy I'm interested in is your Luis Arias for Minnesota. Is Minnesota's lineup out? The latest I looked, it's not out. Because if Arias is batting lead off. And not even, it doesn't have to be batting lead off, but I guess it's much better if he is batting lead off. Hold on. Arias is only 2.7, going against Fulte, who's a gas can. Justin Dunn has got put on a 10-day DL from the Mariners. Let's see that. So the Twins are not yet. So I do like Arias. If Arias is leading off, he's definitely my top second baseman. He'll be one of the value plays at 2.7. Even if he's probably batting like 6th or 7th, I probably can still use him. I think he's in a good spot. Who else we got? Because Fulte cannot pitch to lefties. Jose Altuve is a great GPP play. Great. He's going to be low owned. And right now, though, Altuve is so locked in where I just lost my article. Altuve's got like 8 home runs in his last 9 games. I mean, he's probably one of the hottest hitters in baseball. Prussian. Where is he? He's got 8 home runs in his last 10 games. That's locked in. I don't care if it's Carl Rodon, Jacob deGrom. When you're locked in like that, he's in play. I still like Semien. When he's been leading off now. George Springer hurt. I mean, he's got 16 homers on the year, 237 ISO. Should definitely be able to own. He should definitely be able to own this kid. What's his name? Eichelman for Baltimore. He's my top play. Urias actually from Milwaukee. He came through. I didn't want to play him last night, but he was so high owned. I ended up using him. He actually came through for me. He had like 3 or 4 RBIs, but he's dropped out of 7th. I'm not going to pay 4.4 for Urias batting 7th, even in cores. So to me, I'm either paying for Semien or I'm dropping down to Luis Arias at Minnesota for the cheap price. We got actually. There is a couple other. Where's the Yankee lineup? Where's Rogue Odor? Okay, you got Odor batting 6th against James Kaplan. I think Odor's a decent spot. There's another in the same price range. There's another guy. I can't remember who it was now. Let me see. who I actually liked. Oh, for the Red Sox, you got Arroyo is leading off tonight against Kyle Zimmer. Arroyo at 3-4, I think is a good play. So there's no Kiki tonight. I didn't even realize Arroyo went to high school in the town next to me. I just learned that today. But Arroyo at 3-4 leading off, I think I could take that. We know it's a good hitting environment tonight in Kansas City. So probably, if I don't go all the way down for Arias, I'd probably stop at Christian Arroyo at 3-4. But Odor's in play also. Anytime I'm not on Odor, it's a home run. So he's probably due for one, right? He hasn't had a home run since, the 12th. So that was only 6 days ago. Before that, though, was a while. But he's so in the middle, I guess Odor or Arroyo. Yeah, so Donde says Wong lead up. Yeah, Wong's in a good spot. I don't like. Yeah, he could lose one at Coors, but man, that's a lot. I still think it's a lot of money to pay for Wong. When I can go up a few hundred more and get myself Marcus Semien, who's been just crushing right now. Anybody I'm missing? Yeah, I miss him when Chris Taylor for the Dodgers. Chris Taylor's in a good spot, and he's going to be low owned. I'm assuming their lineup is out. Yeah, so Chris Taylor's batting second against Caleb Smith. Smith's is not good. He's got the positive platoon, 309 ISO, 408 WOBA. Chris Taylor's in a great spot tonight. At 5-4, though, that's a problem. It's a lot of money for Chris Taylor. Tommy Edman, I think, is a decent spot against Fried. McMahon, GPP play against Burns. That's pretty much it. I guess Jake Cronenworth, he's up to 5-5. I love playing Cronenworth when he's 3-5. So yeah, to me, it's all about Semien. If not, I'm going to drop all the way down to the kid from Minnesota. Okay, so let's look at third base now. The latest projections have on DK, Kevon Biggio, and J Ram are both about 13%. That's on DK. On FanDuel, you got Ramirez the highest, and then Anthony Rendon. So, and I do like Biggio. I'm a huge Biggio guy. I think though the play tonight, if you have the money, the top play is going to be J Ram. He's raking right now. He's hot. He's got a home run each of the last 2 games. In June, he slashed in 322, 375, 610. So Ramirez is in a good spot. I do like Biggio's price. I think his price is definitely workable. I mean, is he a top play at third? No. What's his price? He's 3.9. If I can get the J Ram, I'm going to use him. I mean, if not, I'm probably going to go to Biggio. So yeah, it's either Biggio or J Ram for me. Biggio can lose one on this Eisherman kid. So I'm really on the Blue Jays tonight. I'm probably going to have like 4 or 5 of my main lineup. Anybody else? Rendon, people are on him. I just need to see Rendon still hitting more. Right now, let's see. We got Rendon. To me, Rendon's a GPP play. I just can't. Rafael Devers against Zimmer for Kansas City. Good spot. I mean, he's having a career year against a righty. 339 ISO, 402 will, but don't sleep on Devers. It's going to be lower owned. Good spot. Everybody else is on J-Ram. I like them both. Justin Turner tonight against Caleb Smith gets a positive platoon. Turner's having a real good season. He's starting to hit again now. I thought he was, but he got his logs suck right now. He's only hit 250 the last month, so maybe not. Kyle Seager's back in action. Like I said, I use Seager all week, but the one day he hits a home run, but he's got the positive platoon against Walker. I guess you could use Seager at 3.6. He's dropped down there. Austin Riley against C-Mart in play. But my play is Ramirez. I think he's hot. Cool's been terrible for Pittsburgh. You play Ramirez. If not, you get to Biggio. Key Brian Hayes I didn't mention. He's just been totally raking the ball since he came off the IL. He's got hits in 11 of the 12 games since he's been back. He's got 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs in those 12 games. Great price, 4.3 DK, 3.3 FanDuel. But to me, on both DK and FanDuel, it's Ramirez. If not, I'm going to Biggio. Well, you're asking, but I don't see something the last obvious play Toronto. Well, when Toronto's in a good spot against a kid that's getting raked in AAA, what am I going to say? Not to play him? I mean, you're in the best spot. Not much I can do about that. I mean, Zimmerman, who's a gas can to begin with, got put on the 10-day IL, and they brought this guy up for emergency start who's been getting raked in Tidewater. They're in a good spot. So, but I just said you got keep Brian Hayes in a good spot. You got Urias if you want to use them in cores. Turner, but if I'm not playing J Ram, we're talking cash here, so you got to talk popular plays. All right, so that's third base, shortstop. I'm looking at projected ownership right now. In shortstop, we're looking at Semien and Mondesi. So Mondesi is back for Kansas City. I like Mondesi. Where is he in the order? So we know this is a good hitting environment tonight. We got the wind blowing out at 12 miles an hour. It's hot as hell in Kansas City. It's like 95 degrees. Mondesi's batting fifth at 3.9. Great spot against Pivetta. So I don't mind Mondesi. You can use Semien at short if you don't use him at second. He's in play. Who else we got? Of course, Tatis is in play. But if I'm going to roll my Blue Jays in cash, if I'm running Vlad, I'm running Bo Bichette. And then I got Grichuk in the outfield. But you don't have to do that. But Mondesi at 3.9 is probably. I don't have my top plays. I didn't realize he was playing. But he's in play. Willie Adames and Coors. And then you got Brandon Crawford, who is now below 4K and DK. And he's been hitting righties all season. He's been crushing righties. 285 ISO, 412 WOBA, 15 homers, 44 ribbies against Brandon Crawford. Great spot. Anybody else I'm missing? Probably not. Dansby Swanson. I like the Brave stack tonight. Maybe Lindor. Lindor. I guess you say play against Betty, Trey Turner. You like Trey against lefties, but if I'm gonna go up that high, I'm either gonna go with Tatis or Bo Bichette. So, anybody I'm missing here? It's pretty straightforward. A lot of these play tonight. So this may be if I end up running like Luis Arias for Minnesota, if he's leading off a second, I could possibly run like a Semien here if I can get to Bichette. Because Bichette's much more expensive than Semien. So that's maybe right. Maybe I'm going. If not, I like Bichette. All right, yeah, that's shortstop. All right, outfield. We got looking at ownership right now. You know, Yellow's gonna be popular. He's 13%. Otani, AJ Pollock's gonna be up there, but Pollock's still cheap at 3.4 for the Dodgers. Grichuk, I didn't realize Grichuk was gonna be popular, but he is. He's looking at 18% ownership because he's batting cleanup. Teo Hernandez is on the paternity leave right now, so Grichuk's gonna be popular, which kind of sucks because I thought I liked him. He's at 3.8. Still probably end up using him. So in my outfield, I'm running like an Otani. I'm definitely running Otani in the outfield. I'm running Vlad at first with a Grichuk, and then I got to find a value play. We need a couple of value plays tonight, and there's a few of them we can look at. I do like Bradley Zimmer for Cleveland. I think he's a decent play. He's batting seventh. He won't be high owned, but I said Chad Kuhl has sucked lately. He's not pitching well. His last game against Milwaukee, he was -4. It's not like Milwaukee's a murderer's row here. Against Miami, only had 10 points. Kansas City only had 8 points. So I could deal with Bradley Zimmer at 2-1 going against Chad Kuhl. Is it Miami? If the Miami lineup's not out yet, or is it out now? So Miami lineup is out, but Sanchez is not batting cleanup now. So Sanchez has dropped to 6 in the lineup. You had Jesus Sanchez against Zach Davies. Sanchez is a lefty. It's a positive platoon, so he could be your punt play. Gregory Polanco, I think, is in a good spot as a punt play. If you're going to run like an Otani and Grichuk. Who else? Somebody I'm missing, I think. You can use Arias in Minnesota in the outfield. Arias is listed as an outfielder. Another play I've liked all season is Tyler O'Neill for St. Louis. O'Neill's good. Where is he in the order tonight? Batting fifth against Max Fried. He's a righty on lefties. He's been crushing lefties. trying to think if there's anybody else that I'm missing that's a good. Probably not Lourdes Gurriel at 3-6. I'd rather go with Grichuk, but Gurriel's definitely in play. We didn't really mention Justin Upton, who just keeps hitting the ball. I mean, Upton's pretty much gets hits every night. Mike Yastrzemski's another one. Yastrzemski's has been crushing the ball. You look at the advanced metrics right now, Yastrzemski's right up there with everybody else. And he kind of started off weak this year, but he's rolling really well right now. Brian Goodwin's batting second tonight for Chicago at 3-1. He's up to 3-1 now. Probably too much for Brian Goodwin. But right now, Yastrzemski, Vasquez is not a good pitcher, and he's got 286 ISO right now against righties. So Yastrzemski's in play at 4-4. Stephen Degar at 3-1 is definitely in play. He's a lefty bat. But you're missing Amante against Seymour. I guess you can use Amante as your punt play. I think he had double last night. He had double RBI, walk, and a hit, so he's in play. I think you're gonna need a punt tonight if you're gonna use like an Ohtani and a Vlad in your lineup, and maybe like a Bichette. So we got to find kind of the diamond in the rough here somewhere in the outfield. And right now, I'm kind of leaning towards a guy like a Brad Zimmer, or El Monte, or maybe even like a Gregory Polanco. Too bad I couldn't use Moran in the outfield, but I would be all over Colin Moran in the outfield tonight. But I can't. So where's Polanco batting? Polanco's batting 6 where he usually is against the righty Mejia. So yeah, I could use Polanco 2 at 2-3. All right, so that's my outfielders. I didn't mention Avi Gasser. Of course, he's in play. Yelich in play in Coors, but that's just givens. You'll see that in the ownership. All right, any other questions? Yes, yeah, I agree there, G, with Almonte. Almonte back cleanup. I think he's in a good spot. He got a double last night. Too bad the other kid didn't end up hitting a home run. The other kid for Braves. I just drew blank Heredia. But Almonte, yeah, he could probably be the play over Zimmer. I've been on Zimmer all day for some reason. I don't know why. It's more of a gut feeling. And it's not like he's been crushing. But I watched this kid bat a bunch of times this week and last weekend. He just looked good. And he's got his last 3 games, 1 for 4, 2 for 3, 1 for 3. So he's been hitting. He's had scored a couple runs, some ribbies. I don't know. What else are you going to get for 2-1 though? Against Chad Kuhl, though, right now, Chad Kuhl just been terrible. So, but I think we do have to worry about rain that game also. So when you're thinking about guys like J-Ram and stuff, you want to think about rain first. That's another thing. Maybe it may end up me going to Biggio with the rain there. All right, so my Dave Jones says Jordan Alvarez, of course. These guys for Houston, great GBP plays. They're going against Rodon. McCormick, this McCormick kid, 282 ASO right now against lefties. You can play McCormick. The Houston's a really good GBP play tonight, I think. Even though Rodon's pitching really well, we know how Houston, they're very patient at the plate. They don't strike out. So run these guys, and if you're running more than one lineup, run a Houston lineup. Alvarez, it's a lefty on lefty, but he's got 364 rulebook against lefty, so he can hit a lefty. And then same with Tucker. All right, there's no other questions on outfield right now. My core is looking like right now I'm running Cobb and Barrios as pitcher. I'm getting Vlad in my lineup against the call from Tidewater. That means I'm putting Grichuk in my lineup. Grichuk's gonna be expensive though. I mean, it's gonna be very popular though. Because he's back cleanup, and I'm gonna lock Ohtani in somewhere. So Cobb, Barrios, Vlad, Grichuk, Ohtani is my core. On DK, on FanDuel, I would probably run Alex Cobb as my pitcher at 7.5. I mean, he's $2K cheaper than Kikuchi. He's $1,500 cheaper than Barrios. So, yeah, so to me, Cobb's the play on FanDuel as my top pitcher. I like Colton Wong at 2.5. I'd lock him in. Probably, we can also play Biggio a second also. I like Freeman on FanDuel. I like Grichuk, of course. I like Ohtani. So you want to get Vlad. You want to get Vlad and Ohtani in lineups on both FanDuel and DK. Don't think about it. Just do it. Okay, my top stacks. Blue Jays, of course. I like the Red Sox tonight in Kansas City. I think they're going to be lower owned tonight. I wrote them up in my top GPP article today, so don't sleep on the Red Sox against Kyle Zimmer. He's a righty, especially guys like Devers and Vertigo. Give them your lineup. They get JD and Bogarts, and then you can get somebody cheap like a Marwin, maybe Danny Santana, Arroyo leading off. But if you're making more than one lineup, get a Red Sox stack in there. Okay, prize picks. Right now, I have 3 prize picks. I haven't looked lately. I have Fulte under 4.5 Ks. I think Fulte's a gas can. Minnesota's going to hit him hard, especially the lefties. Fulte's not going to strike out more than 4 batters. Here's Fulte's last. Let me see his last 3. Oh my! His last 6 games. 1 strikeout, 2, 2, 2, 1. So I have him under 4.5 Ks. I got Vlad Guerrero over 1.5 runs and RBIs. All I need to do is get at least 2 runs and RBIs. 2 runs or RBIs or combined. You should be able to get that. And then Starling Marte jumped out at me for Miami. As long as is Marte in the lineup? Yeah, he's batting second. Marte, take the Marte over 0.5 runs and RBIs. I think that's another great spot for Marte. I just saw a stat where he's but over that prop, like 11 of his last 12 games, some crazy number like that. So take the Marte over 0.5 runs, RBIs. And that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks has actually been doing well lately, so give that a try if you can do it in your state. If anybody have any questions before we get out of here, we have shows this weekend. We'll have WNBA, MLB combo on Sunday. We'll have something tomorrow afternoon for the Saturday slate. We have, 15, 20 minutes to lock. We're in good shape, actually. Thank you to Mickey, our producer. And I think that's it. There's no questions. We're out of here. Good luck.